Welcome to this edition of Hindsight is Horrifying, the show where three mostly normal and somewhat cynical adults discuss life as members of the TV generation. Now here are your hosts, Darth Jada, Jason Mitchell, and Adam B.
Or something like that. All right.
Good evening, Hindsighters, and welcome to another special episode of your favoriteest podcast, Hindsight is Horrifying.
Yes, indeed, with your much harried audio engineer slash video engineer, and I've got a lot of buttons to push.
Slash producer, slash director.
And he pushes a lot of buttons.
I do push a lot of buttons.
That's one of his favorite things to do.
Speaking of pushing buttons, I don't know why, what are we watching tonight?
We are watching The Big Hit, starring Marky Mark of
And
Marky
the Fun Bunch?
The Funky Bunch?
Oh, those guys.
I, for one, miss the days of Marky Mark rapping about Sunkissed, but whatever. So this movie is called The Big Hit. It also stars quite a few famous people. You've got Elliot Gould, Christina Applegate, Lou Diamond Phillips.
Well, let's be fair. Elliot Gould is in the movie.
It was a very short.
It was very,
very
you know.
He had quite a few scenes.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. He and the mom play a pretty prominent role. They play the parents of Christina Applegate in this movie.
Yes.
So anyway,
Christina Applegate. Yeah. Whatever happened to Christina Applegate?
Oh, Adam has.
She
some
just
news
made
on
the
that.
news today.
What?
She was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, sadly.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so she's been working through a lot of serious illnesses, hasn't she?
Yeah, because she had a double
Oh.
mastectomy a while back due to her breast cancer.
Oh.
Which
Bummer.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know,
But
geez.
20 years ago in this film,
Yeah.
she was smoking hot.
Let's go back to
She still
1998.
is
And
smoking
still
hot.
is.
I was
Yeah,
about to
exactly,
say,
yeah.
Credit where credit is due. But yeah, so this movie, for those of you who have not seen this ridiculously awesome movie, the synopsis is: to pay off his second girlfriend's debt, hitman Melvin Smiley undertakes a kidnapping job with his usual associates. In a world of prospective Jewish in-laws and late movie fees, the hitman falls in love with the victim and must settle the score with those out to double-cross him. Thanks to Uptown on IMDb for that helpful synopsis.
Let's be honest, though. What this movie actually is a Hong Kong action comedy directed by a Hong Kong action star and director. But sort of like as an experiment, it was just shot as an American movie with American actors, by
How
and
do you
large.
say the director's name? Chi Kirk? CHE-Kirk Wong.
I
No
thought
idea.
I thought it was just Kirk Wong.
Well, maybe that's what he goes by.
Oh, I don't know.
officially.
No, but he's a Hong Kong guy. Has been working for many years. Tons of credits. But it was like they said, let's do a Hong Kong action movie, but just as an American movie. And surprise, surprise, it doesn't work.
No.
Because
Imagine.
literally all the humor is Hong Kong action movie humor, and it just comes across as so campy and bad.
Well, at least it doesn't take itself too seriously, but there's
Oh,
kind of
no,
a
it
strange-
definitely doesn't.
Well, it sort of does in the beginning. We were discussing this off camera, Jason, when you said how it sort of seemed like a regular action movie for the first 45 minutes until it took a nosedive, but it realized that it was a comedy. So when I originally saw this movie, I thought it just took itself too seriously, but then I realized as I got older that it was intentionally funny and campy.
Yeah, it's almost like they started it thinking it would be more serious,
Yeah,
and then
hoping
as
so,
it went
yeah.
along, they had to go the comedy route.
Yeah, because you've got Avery Brooks, who's almost comically. I forgot about
Yeah,
Hawk.
Hawk.
And Captain Sisko, oddly enough,
Oh, that's right. I knew
playing
him from
opposite
someplace.
somebody who is named Sisko.
Yeah. Lou Diamond Phillips. I mean, that's the one person who definitely took this project too seriously.
I think Lou Diamond Phillips is the hands down star of the movie. It's his movie.
He
I mean,
was definitely owning the character.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
He owned it.
I mean, Mark Wahlberg's whole character is just, I'm really nice, and I'm a bad guy from Boston.
And he's so soft spoken. It's
Yeah.
it's utterly ridiculous. He's so wildly insecure.
And he's such a Mary
self-conscious.
Jane. I mean, it's just I could walk into a room with 500 bad guys, and as long as I have my lucky spoon, I'll kill them all.
Yeah, he's like the top. He's a gold medalist assassin. He's better than everyone else on his team, but he's constantly getting steamrolled by Cisco and made fun of by the other team members because he's completely whipped by his two girlfriends, who are both absolute gold diggers.
Now, explain to the listeners, why is he so weak in that regard? What's his character trait that makes him like that?
Well, there in the original script, there was actually a backstory to that about how his parents died and what really made him so insecure, but that didn't make it to the final cut because of time and budgetary constraints. But you must have something in mind because I'm not sure. Like,
the fact that he has an almost pathological need to have people like him.
To be loved.
he hates the idea of anybody
Yeah.
disliking him. And Lou Diamond Phillips, in a dick move, says, Mel, there are plenty of people you've killed over the years whose family members probably aren't that fond of you. And that just throws Mark Wahlberg into a tailspin because he clearly never thought about that when he was assassinating people.
Well, it's a stupid decision to have a character that his whole thing is he has to have people like him, and then you edit out the parts where it explains, well, his parents died and this and that, and it gave him this cycle. As it is, it's just, the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, he's just...
But if they didn't edit it out, the movie would be another 20 to 30
Yeah,
minutes.
that's
of
true.
misery.
That's
And
true.
They knew
Yeah.
where their bread was being buttered.
The audience can only take so much. Oh, we're getting to the scene with the magic night vision goggles. Let's talk about
It's
the
not
90s.
the first movie that's had those.
Yeah,
that
but
we've
these
reviewed.
are very special night vision goggles, though, because these are the ones they have little moving targets.
It's a video game.
Yeah, I don't know how that's supposed to work. This is the first Hong Kong action set piece.
With Marky Mark and jorts.
Yeah, this is hey, it was the
So
it was the
1998.
90s. Yeah.
Was this his first film foray after being a rap dude?
Let's find out.
I don't
remember.
think so.
It sure seemed like it from an acting standpoint.
I mean, I can see why it would have kept him in the acting game, because he ended up in a 4-year relationship with the actress
China Chow.
China Chow.
Oh, is that right?
Yes,
Yes, they were
yes.
together for a
yeah,
while,
that chemistry that you see on screen is real.
And you will never believe who she's with now, gentlemen.
Martin Lawrence.
Who was
Elliot
supposed to be in this film.
Elliot Gould.
Oh, God, Elliot
He likes
Gould wishes.
young Asian women.
No, she's been in a
Capricorn
relationship since 2018 with Billy Idol.
What?
I'm dead
I would have never guessed
serious.
that.
Yep.
Never.
That is so weird. Just yesterday, I listened to White Wedding, and
Really?
I thought, whatever happened to Billy
Billy
Idol?
Idol.
Well,
Last
now
time-
I know.
you
Now
he's
I
got a
know.
smoking
Last
hot
time-
girlfriend.
Last time I saw him, he was in The Wedding Singer.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
and that was what, 40 years ago?
Thereabouts, yeah.
Getting
He
close.
couldn't let go of his MTV, so he aged like the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Let's see what his first movie was. Mark Wahlberg.
The cast, it's an interesting cast because you've got the star of the movie, Lou Diamond Phillips, who is an actor who I don't know, he sort of fizzled, and I feel really bad about
Yeah,
that.
because he was kind of Brat Packish there for
Everyone
a while.
loves him.
He was in Young Guns.
Yeah.
and, like, he's-
Fantastic.
La Bamba.
La Bamba.
And he is a very talented actor.
Yeah.
Like I like Lou Diamond.
The-
Phillips.
Do you know how old Richie Valens was when he went down in that plane in Iowa?
Oh, young. I don't know.
18.
18.
Aw,
18 years old.
Jesus.
heartbreaking.
How old was the Big Bopper?
He was the old guy. No, because I was looking it up. Buddy Holly was 23, still a baby.
Jesus.
At Big Bopper, he was probably an ancient 28 or 29 years
probably
old.
so.
But boy, what a horrible plane crash that was.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're not talking about Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch video shorts and Calvin Klein,
Sure.
The Funky Bunch.
it looks like the first foray into any kind of acting was on the Ben Stiller show.
Wow.
He played it himself, so it wasn't that big of a stretch. Like,
Yeah.
and then the first role he played that wasn't him being himself was in a movie called The Substitute in 1993.
Oh, yeah.
He played Ryan Westberg.
I remember The Substitute.
But yeah,
Mystery horror? What was it?
Action, wasn't it?
Action? I did
Let's
not
see.
see The Substitute.
Going back to Lou Diamond Phillips, the last thing I saw him in was probably just a couple years ago. Do you guys watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
oh yeah.
I have watched it.
Okay.
It's very funny.
Did the end of season 4, beginning of season 5, they do this thing where Jake and Rosa go to jail, and Lou Diamond Phillips is one of the prisoners.
What? How did I not notice that?
Yeah, he's the prisoner who is going to kill Jake, and Jake's got a snitch on him and all that stuff. Yeah.
What did he have? A shaved head, or like did they make him look different or something? I'm completely blanking on this somehow because I remember that episode.
He's got facial hair, but I mean, that's not
Lou
exactly
Diamond's Lou Diamond.
Yeah,
can't miss him.
Yeah,
just got to look a little closer there, Darth.
Yeah, pay attention.
Yeah, the substitute apparently was a high school substitute English teacher resorts to murder to protect her murderous dark past while seducing a student. I wonder which student.
Yeah. Is there? Wait, what year is it?
That was in '93.
I'm guessing that there's at least one VHS copy of that somewhere in the world with the name of it and like a leg and a thigh-high stocking on the cover, because that was how you knew that was one of those movies. It'll be on USA Up All Night. Of course. It'll be on Cinemax.
I'm pretty sure one of our trolls
still
has
around?
that VHS.
I think they are, but the internet kind of took away their market.
Oh, I forgot that Marky Mark was in the Basketball Diaries with Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah, he's been in stuff.
He has. No, he's been in some.
No, I know he's
like,
been in stuff, but I want to talk about this movie though.
Yeah, it's the big hit, Chop Socky, with Americans.
This poor assassin hitman, Melvin Smiley is his name, which is just so fantastically bad. He's top tier when it comes to his job. At least he's more skilled than anybody on his team of assassins
by light years.
Yeah, like
he's more skilled than anyone in the world.
You don't necessarily know that. They come off more as lazy as opposed to lacking in skill, because Lou Diamond Phillips and I think it's Vince and Crunch. Yeah, they all kind of hang back when Mark Wahlberg charges in and kills everybody and nails this mafia boss, and then Lou Diamond Phillips sneaks up after the danger's gone, and he
with a few bullets into him.
He shoots a guy that Mark Wahlberg clearly already killed, and then claims the bonus for killing the guy, even though Mark.
Which
Wahlberg
is weird, because why even bother?
Yeah, well, he got one of the guys. I think it was either Vince or Crunch to back him up on that story.
Can somebody explain this '90s bomb?
Yeah,
what's happening?
I have no.
There's chemicals moving around inside of sort of a metal box thing.
It's kind of like that.
Is that the timer?
It's kind of like the Saint when they invented cold fusion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of which, watch the new Val Kilmer documentary. It's amazing.
Yes.
As I'm watching this, and I'm watching Marky Mark hanging outside a green screen while a building explodes very badly over his head, and I'm just wondering. Okay, if this was, because I like Hong Kong action movies. I mean, I like John Woo and all that stuff. And John Woo,
who was a producer on this movie,
was he? Oh, John Woo. He is a guy who successfully translated to American movies very, very well.
Oh, yeah.
Made very successful American movies.
Big time.
But watching this, I just think to myself, okay, if this was a dubbed copy of a film from Hong Kong made in 1998,
it would almost
would
make more
I be
sense.
sitting here thinking it's the greatest movie I've ever seen and laughing my head off the whole time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you would. I think I would be, you know?
I've loved this movie ever since I first saw it. My friend Jenna and I were at the beach one year. We would have been, I think, in high school when we first saw this. And, every teenage girl in the world had a crush on Marky Mark. So naturally that was appealing. But I actually took it seriously as an action movie for the longest time until, like I said, I grew up and became less stupid and realized that this movie's utterly ridiculous.
Now, wasn't Antonio Sabato Jr. very popular at this time?
No,
he was not.
No,
he was one of the.
I never really knew who he was.
He was a TV actor.
Okay,
he was in a lot of TV stuff.
Did he play in Highlander? Who was a Highlander? The series.
Oh, Adrian Paul.
No, I know that it was like Antonio Sabato Jr. Hold on.
Highlander the series? It was Adrian Paul.
It's your turn to look it up.
All right, I'm going to look it up.
I'll bet you
Talk amongst
I'll bet you
yourselves.
$5 it's Adrian Paul.
All right, Adrian Paul it is.
You may be talking to somebody who owned the VHS box sets
Of course.
of Highlander the series, and we won't go any further in
thought
that.
you were gonna-
We're not going to talk anymore.
Well, we have to stop.
I had a Highlander phase.
Yeah,
Really?
No, it was
Yeah.
Adrian Paul. Very good. Yeah.
You didn't have the Banjo box series?
No.
Spaghetti westerns. But we have to stop during this particular scene because, gentlemen, Bokeem Woodbine, who plays Crunch, What's his story?
Crunch.
In this movie.
He's an enthusiastic onanist.
And for those of us who don't know what that word means out in podcast land.
Oh, he chokes the chicken like a lot. He's always rubbing one out.
He has completely given up on women.
Yeah.
He
Smart guy.
He calls it straight jacking.
Yeah. He is completely in love with his hand.
And to the point where he, buys like the industrial sized thing of, was it Vaseline?
No, it was like hand cream, lanolin. But the weird thing is,
he's got those.
The finger strength machines. Yeah. But here's the thing about that: those because they always show him and he's exercising.
He's exercising his
and he's got
hands,
like the big rig that he can I don't know how other people do it.
and thankfully so.
Oh God.
Thankfully so.
I mean, some people do that.
What voyeur are you? Jesus
I mean, everybody's got their own style. It's like playing piano, or the flute.
Well, I mean,
but I don't consider crushing force to be an essential component. Just like men like on the Wilhelms.
What? You've never even seen a Wilhelm. I have seen scores, dozens even.
Yeah, so that's a strange it's a strange joke.
Well, side stories like that, they lead to some interesting conversation. Like in Sex and the City, there was a story between Carrie and her boyfriend Aiden about whether men like their genitals tugged. So you never know. Some people are into strange stuff, Jason.
Well, I mean, yes, you are absolutely correct. You could never quantify what people are into, and he might actually be into crushing power. And if he is, God bless him. If that's what it takes for him.
Damn him, he is a man.
He hates his junk so much.
He's punishing himself.
Yeah.
But he apparently, the actor Bokeem Woodbine in the locker room scene when the guys are changing after their hit.
And I think we see all of their bottoms, don't we?
Yes.
Well, you see Christina Applegate's bottom in those
really
tight pants right there.
Oh.
But
yeah,
as
those
a
pants,
practical joke,
I support those pants.
they're supporting her ass big time.
I'm Jason Mitchell, and I approve those pants.
But as a practical joke on set, apparently Bokeem Woodbine stuffed the front of his pants with socks for the scenes that took place in the gym locker room. And I just had to think, that's just so apt for his character given his preferences in the bedroom.
And Mark Wahlberg's like, I don't have to. Ooh.
I mean, he had a career as a Calvin Klein model for a reason. That's all I have to say.
Well, that was like the story from Tron. Was it Jeff Bridges in Tron?
He was in the original.
Yeah, the original.
Even the latest.
The way that they, if you ever watch Tron, that when they're in the computer simulation, they have these like bodysuits on.
Right.
And it very quickly became apparent that they were going to have to get Jeff a dance belt because his junk was so distracting.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's disturbing.
I'll have to rewatch that.
Good for him.
So he just gets a pass, like Milton Berle.
Yeah. Good for him. I don't understand the subplot with the girlfriend very much.
Who is this guy? That's not Antonio Sabato, is it? Again?
For a second, when
I thought it was Fabio.
I thought it was Joe Lara.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, and I had to look it up, and I was like,
Fabio.
Is that Joe Lara? But you do see some. Not explanation, but you do see instances in the movie where Marky Mark is just having nightmares about his girlfriends not liking him anymore or whatever. And his second girlfriend, Chantel, who has her own boyfriend on the side, she actually weaponizes that against Marky Mark and, hits him up for money all the time. And
she's abusive.
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
really is.
Because one of the things she says several times in the movie is, Melvin, I'm really starting to dislike you.
Yeah, and it's like people know that like it's something that's known about him. Like he should be in treatment.
Yeah.
For a number of things.
He's pathologically insecure about this, so who knows?
But then she grabs his fun bunch and, everything's okay.
Marky Mark in the wild bunch.
We've all been there, right?
Well, that's when he doesn't shave. The wild bunch.
What was Teddy's?
That's what I was just trying to. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. That's it. Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, yeah. So
the plot.
The plot is that Marky Mark is trying to bum some money off of one of his fellow hitmen because Christina Applegate, his fiance, loans $25,000 to her parents to help her dad's failing business, and
because he's in trouble with the IRS.
And
Right.
Chantel is trying to force Marky Mark to pay all of her bills, and she's just a complete mooch and an utter gold digger. And she's cheating on him. He's cheating on her. Well, is it really cheating if Chantel knows about the other girlfriend and just does not care, and has her own boyfriend?
Yeah, Chantel is clearly the other woman who's in the know.
Yeah.
But it's a whole. The movie comes down to greed.
Oh, absolutely. On everyone's behalf, because Cisco's the worst. You see how greedy he is in the beginning when he lies about receiving or why he should receive a bonus, and this plot. Subplot with the dad.
It's the strangest, weirdest. I mean, I respect the. Well, let's explain for the audience. So Cisco.
Yes.
Lou Diamond Phillips, his character, they all work for Avery Brooks.
Avery Brooks, yes.
Paris is his name?
Yeah.
Paris, okay.
And they do crimes for Avery Brooks. Now,
I think they're mostly hitmen because they're
hitmen.
Because kidnapping wasn't really their forte.
Right. So Lou Diamond Phillips decides he's going to do a job, an unauthorized side job.
Moonlighting.
Which is very bad. It's a no-no.
And now we know why.
In the Hitman universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially when you wind up accidentally kidnapping the daughter of a millionaire whose best friend and godfather to his daughter is the kidnappee.
Yeah. His plan is to kidnap the daughter of a very rich Japanese man.
Her name is Kiko Nishi.
Mm-hmm. And ransom her for $1 million, which in the 90s was huge money.
A lot of money. 100 million.
Yeah, exactly. Two complications to his plan. Mm-hmm. One is that the father of the girl has gone bankrupt and has no money because he made a movie called, what was it?
Taste the Golden Spray.
I would rent that.
Yeah.
I would.
I don't doubt
I think I might have seen it.
Taste the golden.
We'll be so rich. All of our showers will be golden. The other complication is, as you mentioned, the girl
is the goddaughter of Marky Mark's boss.
Yeah, as it happens, Avery Brooks is good friends with the father of the girl and is in fact her godfather.
Yeah.
So he goes batshit crazy, and we are led to believe he's about to take out Cisco. Lou Diamond Phillips.
Lou Diamond Phillips gets away with tricking Paris into thinking that it was all Marky Mark's idea to kidnap the girl.
Well, because Avery Brooks sends Lou Diamond Phillips, go find who did this.
Well, and the problem is that, and this is such a great bit.
What a spot to be in.
But it's so funny because they have these things called trace busters. On the phone, and then it's just this stupid bit that keeps escalating.
And
where
the buster of the trace buster,
the trace buster, and then the trace buster. And so it escalates because Lou Diamond Phillips is at his own home, and you've got this character named Gump.
Is that his home?
No, it's Gump's house.
It's got to be Gump's house.
No, because that's why Lou Diamond Phillips is sweating on the trace busting so badly, because that address.
But when it comes up with Gump's picture.
Well, he just doesn't want the team to be implicated.
Yeah, because he knows Gump will spill the beans.
But Gump is a part of the team.
Yeah, he is. He knows what's going on.
He does, but okay.
Yeah,
so
he's in on it.
But anyway, the point that you were about to make, Jason, is the pretense was he calls in Lou Diamond Phillips, and you think he's going to execute him there because he knows what he did.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it leads you to the suspense builds, and then it turns out that Paris just wants to have him lead the team to kill his own friends.
Because he is his number one guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, in Paris, he's got this mind game that he's playing with Cisco in the first place because he's like, what idiot would be so stupid and so idiotic to take my goddaughter? And Lou Diamond Phillips like, oh, somebody really, really stupid about us. Like, and the tension's mounting. And then finally, Paris specifically says to Cisco, he's like, what would you do in my situation? And he's like, I'd bust some caps. And I guess that's the most convincing you can be, is say, like, we'd kill the guy who took her, because then I guess that implicates him less because he's more fired up about bringing the person to justice, even though it's him.
The tissue paper thin logic.
Yeah.
It holds for a while.
Yeah.
I just can't watch it without thinking, why doesn't he call Odo or go to Quark's bar and see if, does anyone know? Okay.
What are you talking about?
Deep Space Nine.
Oh, okay.
The show that, actually that's not what made it my, Spencer for Hire made it my household name.
Yes, it did.
Robert Urich.
Robert
Urich. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, well played, sir.
Good
well
show,
played.
Good show.
Now I do love the fact that this nerdy, pervy boyfriend, quote boyfriend unquote,
Kind of like date rapist.
right, of the Asian girl.
He's so obviously the guy who's going to get murdered. He's just doing everything he can to be like, I want the audience to not like me and want me dead.
Yes.
No one's going to be upset when I buy it.
And
It's
they
hilarious.
get their dream.
So, there's an interesting fact about this. So Kiko, she's a college student, clearly going to a Catholic college.
Wasn't supposed to be, though.
No, she was originally supposed to be a high school student, intentionally as an homage to Asian schoolgirls in anime cartoons.
Can you call that an homage, or is that just...
That's just what this fact says.
Am I saying this right? Boo. Cocky.
However, certain powers that be found it too risque, and she's now a college student in the film. But her boyfriend...
Somebody at the studio going, no.
No, this is not good.
And the boyfriend's racist, too, because
Oh, yeah.
he's just... He's a complete pig, so he's in the back of the limousine, and he's not supposed to be when Kiko gets picked up from school by Marky Mark. And Marky Mark even tries to let him go. He's like, oh, sir, I really shouldn't be giving you a ride. And he's just so soft-spoken. And then he hears Kiko getting sexually molested in the back and shoots the kid. And he's like, sorry about that, miss. And he's so apologetic.
Yeah, he doesn't like stop the car, take the guy out, and shoot him. He blows his head apart when he's a foot away from Kiko, who gets no blood or brains on her.
Somehow.
And should be in therapy after, witnessing,
She clearly developed Stockholm Syndrome from Mark Wahlberg.
Oh,
and
big
that's
time.
Yeah.
It's funny because the synopsis says, Marky Mark falls in love with her. And it's like, she falls in love with him too, but that's not actual love. That's what you call Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, this movie sends a lot of the wrong message. It really sends a lot of the wrong message.
God. I do like how smart ass she is with the kidnappers at first, though, because they write this horrifically grammatically incorrect note for her to read on a very 90s tape recorder to her dad, saying that she's been kidnapped and there's so many misspellings in it. And she's like, who are you? Like the Backstreet Boys?
She's either suicidal or she's that, those people who are constantly doing dangerous things like bungee jumping,
adrenaline junkie,
base jumping and all that stuff,
right.
And it's almost like they might as well be suicidal. She strikes me as that.
Well, she didn't have a good relationship with Daddy.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
She had a great relationship with his money, though.
Yes.
So they were close.
So.
They were very close.
But yeah, so and I thought of you.
No, wait, is that not Gump?
Gump is in the background.
Okay,
so you're right.
so
He is part of the team. My bad. He's not one of the
core members,
though.
Not one of the originals.
Because he's really just there as kind of an assistant to Cisco. He doesn't really do any of the hard work.
He's comic relief in a movie that's all comic relief.
Exactly. But
He can't complete a sentence.
Yeah, that's his thing.
This
That's
is
his
how
thing.
pathological Melvin is, because they're throwing the boyfriend's body in the trunk of the limousine, and he's like, "Oh, careful! That's his crystal that they set down in the suitcase." And Crunch is just sitting
But
there
we
like,
never
"Dude,
knew it
shut
was
up."
in there. I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
And what is crystal?
Yeah, that can mean a lot of
It
things.
can.
Crystal meth?
Yeah, a dong.
I mean, you hear it kind of clinking around, so you assume it's some sort
Crystal meth?
of not
A
that
good
kind of
batch will
clinking.
clink.
See,
I learned
He had
that
just
from
bought some from
Breaking Bad.
Heisenberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
see, there's something wrong with like the
These sexually frustrated, degenerate losers mean business.
yeah. Lou Diamond Phillips owns this movie.
Yes, he does.
It's his movie. Everyone else is just co-starring with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah.
See, Lou, we respect you.
Oh, I love
You acted the hell out of this part.
Everybody loves Lou Diamond Phillips.
Because he's awesome.
Yeah, no, but the whole complex that he has, he wants everybody to like him, which is actually he's afraid of people not liking him.
Right.
But it's just weird the way they handle it, and I feel like if that had been either established more at the beginning instead of just sort of slowly drawn out, it would have made more sense, because it's like, if this was a serious movie and we were getting to know characters over 2.5 hours, then okay, like you start to realize he's got this thing about people liking him. But this is a silly comedy. You need to establish.
Kind of
this needs to be Mel Gibson saying in the second scene that he's suicidal because his wife died.
Well,
like,
he
boom,
said that very
right there.
clearly by holding a gun barrel in his mouth. So.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Though.
No,
It was well done
it's immediately
there.
established.
Poorly done.
Because the movie's
Here.
about 15-ish minutes in by the time you actually hear Melvin admit that he has this insecurity, but in this ongoing bit where he keeps pulling into the wrong house in his neighborhood because he lives in such a generic version of suburbia.
Now let me ask you, because Christina Applegate's mother and father, played by Elliot Gould, have just
and Lainey
appeared.
Kazan, I don't know how you pronounce it.
name. I feel like I know her from stuff.
I do too.
Yeah, she's
but
in my
looked
Big Fat Greek Wedding.
I never saw that.
She was in my.
She's the mom.
That's right. That's where I knew her from.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a ton of things, but I saw Capricorn 1. Oh, Elliot Gould.
I know. But they give Elliot Gould the crappiest, like, you got Elliot Gould and you're making him belch and you make him
He's a complete
puke.
alcoholic.
I mean, like, there's not one but 2 barf gags with Elliot Gould.
Oh, yeah.
And it's...
And both with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Both, yeah. And it's, I don't know. I just feel like you got Elliot Gould. Do something better.
I don't know. Maybe
He was Hawkeye and MASH, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He
Hard
was
to
also-
believe.
Absolutely.
And a connection for both Christina Applegate and Elliot Gould. They were both on Friends.
No.
He was Trapper John?
He was Trapper because Donald Sutherland was Hawkeye.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I knew he was one of them.
Yeah.
It's like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. I didn't know which was which.
And part of the reason why I thought that Chantel's other boyfriend was Joe Lara is because he steals a movie from Melvin. Because that's another side story.
that's just
going on
racist to
throughout this.
meatheads.
No. Because the movie is called King Kong Lives and Joe Lara was Tarzan.
yeah.
So the boyfriend steals this video from Big Top Video and Melvin keeps getting harassed by this.
Well, he didn't steal it.
It was just overdue.
The other boyfriend steals it from Melvin.
yeah, Joe Lara.
Melvin,
Yeah.
the Joe Lara wannabe. So, and Melvin has no idea where the tape is, and so he's getting harassed by this like 16-year-old geek who manages the Big Top Video store, and who's like threatening to have him killed and stuff over a VHS tape.
They've gone to Gump's lair. The Gump
It's
Cave.
quite an elaborate electronics.
This is such a sort of, like, you can watch Jackie Chan movies. Like, this reminds me of Rumble in the Bronx. Because they would have these things where it looks like the bad guys spend all their time partying.
Yeah.
To, like, they have music and lights constantly in their lairs, and then they do crime.
Yes.
By
night.
And it just looks so silly when it's not in a Hong Kong action movie. But again, Lou Diamond Phillips, he's rolling with it. He's taking the whole thing, and God, look at that phone.
Well, you have to commit to the character that you're playing. It's kind of like that Alan Rickman quote we've talked about so many times. You have to be able to sympathize or empathize. I can't remember what she said with the character you're playing, or else you're not going to be able to play them correctly. But this is where I thought of you, Jason, because you always make jokes about seppuku.
I'm telling you, one of these days, something's going to push me over the edge. I'm not going to do so much singing though. This guy also, he was in Seinfeld.
Who was he on Seinfeld? His name is Sab Shimono.
He was in the episode where they tried to sell the pilot to Japanese TV, and they brought them a bag of oranges because for some reason they thought that was a thing you do.
It
was a gift.
Yeah. Oh God. But
I want to have an office in a Quonset hut.
Sure, but yeah. So Lou Diamond Phillips with his cap teeth. God, he's so.
And his shirt that looks like a body tattoo.
Yeah. It's, what were those shirts that douchebags wore that worked out in the? It's like it's like one word. I cannot remember the brand of shirt.
I don't know. If you're talking about shirts douchebags wore in the
somebody
gym.
knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Could be almost any type.
Yeah, that's a wide field. That's a wide field.
I cannot remember what they're called, but anyway. So
he's about to kill himself because he lost
the dad.
every cent.
Yeah, he's doing it wrong too.
He is.
You're supposed to.
He's like trying to stab himself in the sternum when.
Jeez, do it right. Duh.
It's the last thing you're ever gonna do, dude.
Yeah,
Commit.
exactly.
But yeah, so, and what's funny is that he thinks he's being pranked at first by Lou Diamond Phillips because Cisco calls him, and it takes like several attempts for him to make it clear to Jiro that he's got his kid and that he's ransoming her. So, yeah.
So essentially, he saves his life.
Yeah, that's true. He gives him a proper motivation to
at the
live.
very end.
Yeah, because what's the thing at the end? They decide to make
a feature film out of the kidnapping, and he
Yep.
ends up becoming rich and famous and having a hitman as a son-in-law, and that pretty much wraps the movie. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
It's a movie.
Oh my God.
It is a movie.
Trying to see what else I wrote down about this movie.
Well, we have to talk. We have to talk about the bizarre dynamic between the girl. I can't remember her name. Kiko
and Melvin. Well,
because
Oh my God!
Yeah.
It's
Oh
so
my
weird.
God!
it's very uncomfortable.
It was. I was sitting there watching
Them
the scene when
sensually
they're
stuff
when
a
they're-
chicken.
Yeah, when they were cooking
It
together.
made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too. I thought maybe it was just me.
No.
Well,
it was-
I think that's a big one of the many reasons why she couldn't be a high schooler beyond the obvious is that like it would be even creepier.
or how about the scene where he
statutory.
pulls down her panties to help her pee?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Over the top.
This is not legal
But
advice.
they try to make it seem like it's a romantic
I know, like, oh, it's
setting.
cute.
Like,
So innocent.
Yeah,
all she needs
this is
is
not legal
help.
advice,
Mm.
but folks, if there's a high school student who asks you to take her panties down so she can pee, leave.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
run.
Just go.
as fast as you can.
Establish an alibi as quickly as you can.
Yep. Oh God. Oh, but
You
yeah,
will thank us
It is
in the
creepy,
long run.
but
yeah.
it's funny because Melvin's running around hiding the fact that he's cheating on Christina Applegate because they're engaged to be married, and
Even though he
meanwhile-
doesn't really, he doesn't want to get married to her.
Well, no. She's the one who's kind of questioning her relationship with him, and she lets her parents plant that doubt because they're Jewish and he's not. And so Christina Applegate even gets into a fight with her mom. She's like, if I want to marry Goyim, I'll marry Goyim. I'm like, and it's just so freaking ridiculous.
Clearly, again, a movie by a guy from Hong Kong who probably doesn't know a lot of Jews.
No.
Because Jews aren't, I mean, they're pretty cool about, go to New York, a lot of Jews married to a lot of Catholics.
Well, as long as the woman is Jewish, then when they have children, that they're Jewish.
I married a New York
Yeah.
Jew. I did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's okay. But now if it's a
softballed that
if
one
it's a
for you.
Jewish man and marrying a woman, then she does have to convert to Judaism
Yeah.
because they need that Jewish child.
Oh, I did not know
I
that.
would have
Yes.
found a way to do it anyway, Jason.
Yeah.
You know me. Because as John Mulaney says. But
If you don't want to hurt a girl's feelings, sometimes the relationship goes much longer than it should.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Once you've been dating for a while, then of course it goes to engagement, and you're like, yeah, okay, well, let's get engaged. When am I going to pull out of this thing? When am I going to get out of here? And then the
Pull
next
that
thing you know,
ripcord.
Yeah.
it's 2 weeks before the wedding, and then you
Exactly.
decide it's not go.
Yeah.
wow.
I actually have a friend.
Y'all hella specific.
That's a real life story here.
There's a friend of mine. I'm not.
I know this
You
story.
know.
Oh,
you know
God.
who you are.
Oh my.
And your wife probably does too.
both know.
Pull out
No, that's
of the relationship.
I mean, girls go through that too. Like when you're with somebody for a long time and you just sort of, fall into the routine with them. That happened to me twice where two different boys that I dated at different times, when they announced to me that they wanted to marry me, I was like, I have to go. And we're breaking up.
That
Bye.
was the thing that pushed you over the edge.
Yeah, I didn't wait until 2 weeks before we got married or anything like that.
I did that.
Let's sign up for Columbia
Did you
House.
seriously?
I did 2 weeks prior.
Oh!
On a wedding.
Oh!
Yeah, the invitations were out. It was tough. It was
my.
tough.
Wow, the invitations were out.
Was this-
Everything was out. It was all ready to go. The hall was rented. Everything. Yeah.
Was this
Holy
Tinkerbell?
shit.
No. This was long before Tinkerbell. I was a young man at the time.
Well,
I'm such a bee.
You are a bee.
the other option you had would have been to become such an asshole that she breaks up with you. And we've all done that one too.
God.
I've done that like 4 times.
Jesus, Jason.
That was because if you're the sort of person who doesn't want to go through the trauma of dumping someone,
to me it's easier to just break.
But you know what? That can backfire because women like assholes.
They do
sometimes, not all.
Yeah. Well, Bill Clinton has been trying. I mean, that's his whole thing for years. He's been trying to get Hillary to dump him. You know, that explains everything.
Not going to happen.
Bill, you just need to pull the trigger, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fries, but yeah.
No, but it was 2
My
weeks
dad
prior.
played poker with Bill Clinton once.
Really?
Yeah. He had a poker
strip poker.
No, but Hillary showed up for a minute. And apparently they
shut down the party.
Oh, she screamed to her. My dad was sitting at a table with a couple of people, and Bill Clinton was there.
Was this in Vegas?
No, it was in Arkansas.
Oh,
yeah, it was at some kind of a convention or something. I think it was when Bill was running for governor. So and Hillary showed up and started screaming at Bill because he was down there, playing cards and drinking and probably doing other stuff too. And so my dad was like, these two people are crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll never see them again.
Ever. Yeah.
And then he woke up to discover that his law firm had been hired to defend Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Because he never forgets a bitch. Ever. But anyway, so back to the movie.
We do need
to take a break.
We need to take a break. We need to take a break. We've got
to go break up with some people before the invitations go out.
No, I'm just going to be an asshole to you guys until you decide to dump me.
We
love you even more now.
That's actually a great joke.
That won't work with you too.
No.
Courtney Cox actually mentioned that on Friends, where they're harping on Chandler and they're like, just break up with Janice for like the 40th time, and don't do that thing where you're just mean forever until we break up with you. And Joey was like, you guys know about that?
Yeah. Stand-up comedy ruined a lot of our tricks. Okay, guys, we will be back in about 1 second. And we're back.
It's good to be back.
And we were just sharing some stories and anecdotes. It was really good material, but we didn't film any of that. So back to the boring stuff. Yeah, back to talking about this crappy movie. And it is. I'm gonna say it is a crappy movie.
Oh, 100%. I thought that was the kick that we were on right now.
It is, but there's rules for entertaining crappy movies.
Okay.
And this movie satisfies all of those rules. Because
okay, I thought you were about to criticize my choice.
Don't throw Our Lady under the bus.
No, because the cardinal sin that a bad movie can make is being bad on purpose.
Yeah.
That's why Sharknado doesn't count. Sharknado is just crap.
No, the ultimate sin that movie committed was Tara Reid.
Yeah, I feel like they probably paid for that. But the other thing is that a bad movie, in order to be a good bad movie, it cannot be boring. You've got to be entertained the whole time.
Yeah, because as bad as this movie is, there's always something going on. Yeah, and
I can watch it again.
Yeah, I've watched it at least a dozen times. I love this movie, but Chantel goes above and beyond getting her licks in on Melvin because she doesn't just like bust his life open, in a fit of jealousy or rage. She doesn't approach
And they drive a jet.
Yeah.
Like all cool people do.
All villains drive jets.
That's right.
Because part of the risk of having an affair is wondering if the woman you're cheating with is going to tell your main person,
your
main squeeze, that telling Donna Reed that Violet's been there the whole time. But
no, Donna Reed would have just taken a knife and
kicked her ass.
No, slice throats. Yeah, Donna Reed.
She spent years.
I have a feeling if you crossed Donna Reed, you'd regret it.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. She was a badass. But Chantel actually drops off Kiko because Melvin was storing his kidnap victim at his side piece's house. She gets upset with him because he has...
And bits of person.
Yes, the bags.
Because he was cleaning a body in the beginning of the movie. And
cleaning a body, is that what they call it?
And it seems like...
Ew.
It would be the nearest thing to impossible to have 2 bags of stinking, rotting. Because it's been a little while now.
In the Los Angeles sun.
And it's not
I feel like the flies would be everywhere.
Well,
the blue bottles.
They sort of acknowledge that because Melvin tries to throw the body parts out. He doesn't even fit it in the trash can. He puts it next to the trash can, and this golden retriever is going ape shit on it.
But those hefty bags are strong.
Oh my God, you know what I just realized?
Uh-oh, what?
this movie should have been made 15 years earlier, and it should have starred Chevy Chase.
Oh, that would have been awesome. Because you know who was originally... There were two different...
Then it would have worked. Yeah.
There were two different guys who...
and instead of Avery Brooks, John Candy.
That would have been fantastic.
Sorry.
But, I mean, one of the original potential stars of this movie as Melvin was Martin Lawrence. And that would have been a very different movie, but it would have been kind of like... I don't know. I think it would have been the right kind of campy and funnier.
It would have been funnier.
And I don't know if that means that the character changed when they cast Mark Wahlberg, because the other person that they considered for the role of Melvin was Jason Scott Lee.
Yeah, that would have been... I saw that...
a very different
because that would have been a straight up serious movie.
Yeah, they might have actually pulled it off. And this kid, the Big Top Video manager.
The guy who very clearly has a background in improv comedy.
Well, he lusts after Jim Carrey based on all of his moves. He's a Jim Carrey wannabe, but clearly will never be.
Never be.
Yeah, but somebody...
Yeah. He's a Second City alum.
Really? He is? This kid?
Yep.
Danny Smith, because in the original script...
Has he done anything else?
I don't think so.
No.
But apparently the video store kid in the original script was only a voice heard over the phone. He was never seen until the end of the film, but when Danny Smith was hired, it was decided to insert those little scenes into the film where he was threatening to have Marky Mark
he added
killed.
so much to the movie.
He really did.
They needed to lighten it up a little bit with him.
It is a good thing that he packed those dead body parts in
an unconscious schoolgirl.
Well, no, because there's the two Glad bags full of hacked up person, but that was that back in the 90s. There was a brief period when Glad made their bags out of Kevlar. And so a dog could literally chew on it, and the bags are fine.
Wow.
Yeah. And also, human body parts, I'm thinking probably weigh a lot.
They do, like a lot.
Yeah, but Marky Mark is
And
so
how do you know
freaking
that?
ripped, Jason.
I've heard. I've speculated.
Because he didn't just leave the woman 2 weeks ahead of time. He killed her.
Well, that's sort of like...
That's how you get out of a wedding.
There was an episode of Mythbusters where they tested out, like bad guy things, and one of it was carrying a body and getting into a car. Yeah. And they were all surprised by how easy it was.
Oh, really?
They were like, I thought this was going to be a lot harder. I feel like I could do this.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, Melvin leaves Kiko in the back of their Suburban.
Is she wearing spats?
Anyway. Their saddle shoes.
Oh, okay.
That's what goes with the Catholic schoolgirl outfit.
Like
I thought this
Elaine.
was like a fantasy amongst all men.
Yeah, it is. That's a universal
But the
thing.
shoes are probably the least important part.
No, shoes are important.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, very important. Depending on your... Anyway.
Move on. Anyway. So, Cisco is about to really show his colors because they trace Buster, the call back to Gump.
Buster.
And even though Gump was part of the team, like you clarified, Jason, Cisco straight up stabs poor Gump to death.
I was hoping
he doesn't even shoot him.
No, he doesn't shoot him. He kills him with a knife.
Yeah.
And speaking of the knife, that's what I was alluding to earlier, is that it's not that Cisco isn't a skilled hitman, because he's flinging that knife around like a damn ninja at the end of the movie when he's fighting Melvin.
Imagine if he had used a gun.
Yeah, imagine.
He probably would have won.
Oh, and meanwhile, Crunch is taking out his neck tape to masturbate too, and
I feel like they should have had he should have had a glove on his hand the whole time, and then at some point you take it out and there's like a face, and it's like it's like a demon possessed thing, and there's more to this story. And then he could have had his own side movie, like a horror movie about. Anyway,
wasn't there some film where some guy
there
had
was,
a
and
hand in his face? It was like a Asian chop sake film. You even mentioned it before.
I'm gonna find out.
Some guy wrote, produced, directed it.
Oh, and here's the scene where Marky Mark takes off her panties. Jason,
I don't know. Yeah, this was not titillating.
Help her go to the her go to the bathroom, but then she doesn't clean herself up at all.
No, she hair dries very quickly.
She had just a little tinkle.
just a little tinkle.
I mean, what if she had just taken a big old rip?
That would have changed the dynamics.
Yeah, he's leaning against the wall, going, "Oh, she's sweet, she's cute."
Daddy, wipe me. Oh God. I'm so glad I don't have to do that with my kids anymore. That was nightmarish.
Yeah.
Dad. Oh shit. Literally. But look at her. She likes having her panties taken down
so much
and put
about
back
the
up.
things that you choose.
Thanks,
to be.
Japan.
Oh God.
And she's like coquettish about it. Like,
Yes, she
take my
is.
panties down so I can pee.
Unless you want to take these handcuffs off of me, like it's just so. You can tie me up if you want to, Arnold, for old time's sake.
I mean, it could have just done the thing where he handcuffs her to him and she pee. I don't know. There were other ways of doing this.
and it's not like there was even a window in the bathroom. He could have easily uncuffed her.
That's a good point.
Guarded the door.
Yeah, that's a
and
good
then just
point,
put
actually.
the
Yeah.
cuffs back on her.
There's really no real reason for that.
Well, no.
Except that a person from Hong Kong decided, we're doing
Yes.
that. This is happening.
Well, people are into weird things, Jason. That was probably a blam shot for a lot of people around
Yeah.
the world.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then my question is,
Crunch.
did he wash his hands before sensually stuffing a bird with her in the kitchen? I hope so.
No,
That's a good point.
that was the
yeah.
seasoning.
Because
Ew. So.
I like my stuffing with a little bit of tang to it.
Oh. No, wait. Tang's Chinese. She's Japanese.
Okay.
you're
little
racist.
wang then. Oh, that's Chinese too, isn't it?
Oh dear God, I regret
Dong?
everything.
No, that's Vietnamese.
Where is my automobile?
Okay, what movie is this from? This punch has got a little wang to it. You remember that movie? Hollywood Nights? You ever seen the Hollywood Nights?
No,
No.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, it's
Can't say
classic.
that I have. But yeah, so we like
It's the longest movie ever. Is this are we watching the Ten Commandments?
it's been her.
Look, they even slow. It's slow motion now to stretch it out a little longer.
Yeah, that was a good shot where he puts this little, douchebag cigar in his mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a cigarillo.
Yeah, cigarillo. Yeah, and then it just slowly tumbles away.
One of the guys who did Want to Marry Me smoked cigarillos, and that was one of the many reasons why I knew
Red flags,
it was
red
time
flag.
time to
Yeah.
bust out that parachute. This
Yeah.
parachute's a knapsack. Oh God. But yeah, so poor Gump gets himself traced, busted.
because he's so stupid.
Yeah.
He's a very dumb man.
And I love how on the nose his name is. Like they name him Gump. It's just,
Well, and also too, I love that back in the '90s, if you use like a machine for doing anything criminally, like tracing a phone call, there would be a big screen telling you have 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was
look
half
alive.
expecting it to get to 1 second
And then
and him to hang
hang
up,
up.
but no, he
And
just
you're almost kind of rooting for that to happen because you don't want anything to happen to Gump.
because he's gonna die.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so,
as
yeah.
soon as that happens,
Yeah,
it's
he's
over with.
completely irrelevant.
And I love that it pulls his picture up from
A mugshot. It looks like a mugshot.
yeah, I guess it.
Clearly been arrested. But they had access to the police database.
Lou Diamond Phillips, he looks like Vanilla Ice in his mugshot.
He does.
He does. I think that's what they were going for.
But Lou Diamond Phillips even has this
This song
this
is my
look on his
recital.
face.
I think it's very vital.
Oh God. Vanilla Ice, Marky
is
Mark.
so
God, I
Hong
miss
Kong.
the 90s.
See, and that's the thing. This is all of this where Avery Brooks gives the signal and they all just go.
They run.
That's
Yes.
such a Hong Kong action thing, but it just doesn't work in this context.
It really doesn't.
I think if you wanted to do a Hong Kong action movie, but American, you've got to be Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah. I think
Because
could pull it
he
off.
did it in Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah.
That's just a
Yeah,
Hong Kong
that's
action
true.
movie. But if you're not Quentin Tarantino, I don't think you're either not good enough at the Hong Kong part or you're not good enough at the American part, and you got to be good at both.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So
You have to find that blend.
yeah.
But here's a question. When Melvin offers to make Kiko something to eat, she asks for a pterodactyl. And it turns out it's pizza. I've never heard of that. Is that a real thing?
No. He was like, "Oh, I'll cook you something up." Like she was giving him a comical impossible challenge.
Oh, okay.
Oh, then I
thought it was
want
like
a
brand-
pterodactyl.
I thought it was like a brand of pizza because it didn't read that way to me.
It's the only thing she didn't do in this movie is cover her mouth and laugh.
Son, my
Yeah,
child
yeah,
wants
he's-
some whipping.
Yeah. You are just like your mother.
all over. But
The 90s. We just sat and watched videos and got stoned and ate Chinese food. And
What are these guys doing with these guns?
I know.
Okay, so Gump is about to...
They're really bad at aiming weapons
Yeah,
because the lasers are just going everywhere.
They're just jumping. It's like laser tag.
Yeah.
But they all... And Gump could have died so much more easily, but no, Cisco has to be vindictive and stab him.
Exactly,
I guess,
yeah.
well, he's playing up his loyalty to his boss because, and he catches Gump just in the nick of time because the other guys were about to take Gump with them, it looks like, but Cisco is afraid that he's going to spill the beans, so he has to kill him before he can say anything.
Right. Yeah,
Even as Cisco runs in, he's like, hey! And Cisco punches him, so it doesn't look like they're familiar with each other.
The funny thing about these sets that like the Rumble in the Bronx style bad guy lair is that they're always very neat. There's clutter, but there's never any garbage. Like it literally looks like no one has ever lived there. There's stuff all over the place, but everything was placed.
We can't have any evidence that we live here. Have you ever seen that video? That'll be another project for us later.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cisco has this overly dramatic speech where he plants the idea he's like, Gump, say it's Melvin. Say it's Melvin that kidnapped Kiko. And he's like, Melvin? And Gump doesn't even realize until he's already been stabbed that Cisco is completely going to, betray him.
Yeah.
Was that...
And of course he owns a jet ski.
Well, yeah.
His dad owned a jet ski.
Of course. But his little Nikes are wriggling. Oh.
And he lost his Michael Jordan hat.
Yeah.
His dope Kango.
And I love how the bad guys are so obviously just they don't have any lines. They make no noise. The henchmen make not a peep.
Yeah, not even with
any of them.
They'd have to pay him scale.
Nothing. Just look at the camera.
Yeah. Stone faced.
That guy, they own a lot of pots.
Yeah, many bachelors own pots.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a bachelor, I had
one pan. I made soup in it.
Yeah.
I fried chicken in
Everything.
it. I made bacon in it.
Yep.
And that's all I had.
And occasionally you cleaned it. Every once in a
Or
while.
you threw it away
Yeah.
because it wasn't worth the
Well, actually, that's true. Yeah, eventually you just throw it away and you go to Walmart and you get another one.
It's like you said during Shivers. You were like, I used to throw plates away instead.
Yeah. I can freely admit in my bachelor days to looking at a dirty kitchen and just saying to hell with it and throwing it all in the garbage.
How did that not get expensive?
Well, I didn't do it that often.
Okay, that's good.
It's it's like get out of jail. You get to do it every once in a while.
I will occasionally do that with Tupperware, usually when something was sitting in the back of the fridge for too long and it's just not worth washing.
Just drop it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tupperware used to be a lot more expensive.
Yes.
When you had
Tupperware parties.
Oh, yeah. It used to be a lot more expensive. Butter bowls. You guys remember butter bowls?
No.
Yes, you do. You just don't know that you do. So butter bowls are these special kind of Tupperware. They look like they're straight out of the 70s.
She must have been a Tupperware lady.
Nope.
They're Tupperware ladies.
Can you get them avocado colored?
They're Tupperware ladies.
They were like that mustard yellow and
avocado colored.
butter bowl. But keep talking. I'm gonna find this.
No, but it's funny because like with the thing with like the old Tupperwares, it's sort of like when your kid's goldfish dies, and you just scoop it and you very solemnly put it in the toilet and flush it, but you go on with your life pretty quickly. That's how it is with the Tupperware. You're just in a perfect world you'd be cleaned, but it's not a perfect world.
That's right.
Aww.
Goodbye.
So now we're at the scene, listeners or watchers, where they are making food together. And it looks like they're squeezing oatmeal or something together.
It's stuffing.
There's probably, and I'm being
is.
completely serious, there is probably a Japanese word for handcuff and cooking.
Yeah.
I mean,
Handcuff
there's octopus porn,
erotic handcuff and rubbing a
tentacle
turkey.
porn.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's tentacle porn, there's got to be erotic, sexy cooking somewhere. God.
Yeah, no, there's something out there. This comes from somewhere in the director's mind.
Oh, but in the background, they're playing like an actually romantic song.
My love, my darling.
Linda, what are you doing?
That would be hard to do in my early 20s.
Yeah, I feel bad for the bird.
Yeah.
The bird is the innocent victim
What do your
in
early
all
20s
this.
have to do with
Well,
stuffing a bird?
I could do that with a woman now and not even think twice about it. But in my early 20s, Your body reacts a lot faster than it does. At my mature.
It would end quickly. It would be. You'd suddenly go, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to go get pizza. Bye.
Well, that's it. That's exactly what happens.
And then he picks her up and puts. It's just like a little girl.
Well,
it's
once
wrong.
Again, he washed his
it's
hands
so
because they were
wrong.
both like all goopy.
She's
from
got
the
chocolate under her thigh, and he's gonna have to lick it off.
Wait, why did he have chocolate? He was making a turkey.
He knocked it over. Well, that might have been for the dessert.
Oh no! Look, he's running the cloth up.
But then she hits him in the head with a hammer.
I know. That's what you call
A
cock
tenderizer.
blocking. Yeah.
Now, I mean, we've all been there. I think it all,
And
you
she
know.
seduces him with this story about a bird that reaches sexual maturity at a very young age and then immediately dies right after mating or something. And no, we eat them. That's what it is. People kill them. So, it's just like the oddest setting, the oddest music, and it's just so. It's making my skin crawl.
Well, and it kind of. It doesn't become okay, but when it becomes clear that she's trying to escape,
yeah,
then it's like, okay, well, now I see what she was doing. That's okay. It was all part of it.
From her perspective, it was fine,
a
but from
ploy.
his-
Yeah, it was a ploy. She was luring him into this, and that was her escape plan. That makes sense.
yeah.
He
bird
doesn't get
immediately
that.
sets on
Yeah, he
fire.
doesn't get that pass though.
No,
You know,
for sure not. Because I mean,
which we're judging him. He's a hitman.
that's true.
He murders
We were
people
on
for a
his
living.
side
You know.
until he took that poor girl. From
Yeah,
school,
exactly.
Jackass.
Yeah, I was okay with you killing people, but this.
Yeah. Sensual cooking leads to kosher takeout because the whole thing of it is that Christina Applegate went to temple with her parents and they're sitting there trying to convince her to not marry Melvin because he's not Jewish. So they do convince her and she's going to break up with him.
Well, no, Elliot Gould wants. It's a different reason. Elliot Gould doesn't want him to marry her.
He says that the daughter's not good enough
because
for Melvin.
exactly, yeah, he doesn't want Melvin to get stuck with her.
Well, and
but
the reason why he's saying that is because he's like stone ass drunk. Like he's been sneaking vodka into prune juice the entire weekend, which that's going to be the return on that is going to be so painful.
Well,
it's not even
yeah,
funny.
but that's the weird thing is that they act like
flour on his face to make it look like he made the kosher takeout.
They act like if the dad comes into contact with alcohol, he turns into a werewolf.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I didn't see that happen though. He just vomited.
Yeah, he just turned into an angry drunk. But I think he could probably have a beer.
Sure.
You know,
absolutely.
I think but
I don't know. He does get really nasty where he's yelling and saying that his.
Yeah, but that was after he drank a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
But some people don't have the ability to stop themselves.
I like
Once they have one beer, they're going to have 12.
I like that the bad guys all drive Chrysler minivans.
Yeah, Chrysler definitely paid for some advertising in this movie.
Yeah.
And didn't opt for
How much did
anything even
Dodge
remotely
kick in?
cool. Thanks, Dodge.
Not as much as you think.
Oh, fake booze. Thanks,
Crunch.
Dodge. Crunch. What is that machine called? It's obvious. I realize that he's flexing his hand.
Does it have a name?
It has to have a name.
I don't think they really needed to put it in at that point. That's gratuitous.
Yeah. Well, and the thing
He's got
is,
this thing with springs, and he's squeezing it while he's at the airport talking to someone on the phone, just so you know that he's still working on that right
and
hand.
ordering a industrial sized tub
lanolin.
of lotion.
Yeah.
but that was another thing that was weird about it. Like, that made me think that there was going to be like a ramping up of like more ridiculous things, but that was it. That's the end of it.
Crunch.
Yeah, you don't see him after that.
And Vince barely, Antonio Sabato Jr., he's barely in the movie. He only has like 3 scenes total.
Yeah, I know.
He does show up again at the end because he's the one who picks up Kiko from school. So spoiler alert, what ends up happening, Hindsighters, is that Melvin has to go to war against Cisco, who has completely double-crossed him and turned his boss against him, and so Melvin's having a rough day. Meanwhile, Chantel is already broken up
I'd have
with
taken that
Melvin.
grenade launcher. I'm not leaving that behind.
Well, Melvin has quite an arsenal
Yes, he
in
does.
the secret back area of his closet. Hand grenades, smoke grenades.
It's very Batman.
Yeah, I like
that.
I like the fact that it opens up to a secret room or a secret cabinet that just has tools in it.
Yes.
And then that opens up. I thought that was a good. That was
That was a nice
that
touch.
was the artist's touch.
That was a
right
nice
there.
touch.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, what if Christina Applegate's looking for a hammer or something that she might have to use in the house?
Yeah.
Then she's not going to look any further.
You've got a secret cabinet with more tools.
Yes. It's my fetish.
It's a simulation.
Oh, yeah,
Inside
unless
a
those are the
simulation.
tools he uses for other things.
Yeah.
Inside another simulation.
Oh.
But anyway, so the family sits down to this kosher dinner, and Melvin comes back in to find, because Crunch tips him off and lets him know that Cisco's coming to kill him.
Yeah.
And so Melvin comes back into the house because he hears Cisco from the garage, and now his family's in danger. So
Yeah, and instead of like standing back and shooting the bad guys,
well, he's outnumbered.
that doesn't stop him.
In past performance, yes. He's
Yeah.
just over. He could have taken them all out in 4 shots.
Yeah, he could have just shot all, kill.
That's true, because he did kill like 12 people by himself in the beginning of the movie.
Instead, he sits down so they can have this under the table footsie gun thing.
Well, they had to have a standoff, man to man.
Yeah, and
It's kind of Han Solo-ish. in
Kind
many
of.
ways.
Shot first though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
also I like the fact that he got the shotgun and he has the shotgun with him, but he didn't think to load it until now.
yeah.
So he's like under
He
the
knows he's gonna need it.
Yeah, I know, he's under the table loading the shotgun.
In no uncertain terms does he not know that
And
he's
one of
gonna
the
need
bad guys
shotgun.
just start shooting.
You don't. And yeah, because why do they care? Why are they holding up this pretense in front of
Right.
Melvin's family?
They don't want
care.
any innocent people to get hurt.
I suppose, but
I'm
Cisco's
making that
already.
up.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, who knows?
It's for dramatic
Yeah, Cisco
tension.
kill whoever.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
he just killed his friend.
But it's like with Gump, the other guys weren't going to murder anybody else, kind of like what you guys were saying. But Cisco, he's got underlying intentions. So, but yeah, he and Marky Mark have to have their tough guy, Wild West standoff. And meanwhile, Elliot Gould is traipsing around, talking mad trash about his wife and only child, saying how she mistreats Melvin and she doesn't deserve him.
Or why didn't like 2 of the bad guys sit down at the table and Cisco just wait in the hallway, and then when
sneak
Mark
up on him
Wahlberg sits down, Cisco just shoots him.
Yeah, because now they've got all these witnesses.
Yeah, well,
They never killed it. The family escapes.
yeah, I know.
We're looking for logic where there's none to be found. The point is, they get into a gunfight because the Elliot Gould is so drunk that he ends up pulling the tablecloth off the table where everybody's hiding their weapons. And Elliot
And then
pukes all over Lou Diamond
Cisco.
Phillips.
Yeah. Whoosh.
Somehow, Marky Mark manages to shoot 2 people.
It was double barrel.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
still, they
he-
weren't sitting close enough together for that.
That's a sawed-off shotgun, double barrel, both at the same time. That
Would
probably
it really blow them backwards like
No.
that?
no, it would,
Okay.
no,
Not at all.
No,
I was about to say, it seemed a little dramatic.
but it would have probably would have killed both of them.
Elliot Gould.
Elliot Gould. I'm glad Elliot Gould is still acting, because imagine if this was his last movie.
Oh, that
His
would
swan
suck.
song,
His swan
so to
song.
speak. Yeah.
Oh, no.
But I even like watching, even with no sound, watching Lou Diamond Phillips. His facial
He's so
expressions
expressive, yeah.
is amazing.
He's like a cartoon character, especially
He
with those
is.
capped teeth. My God.
It makes you really want to see Lou Diamond Phillips in something now.
Yeah.
That's a real Lou Diamond Phillips in something directed by like Martin Scorsese. Would be
watch the hell out of that.
it would be incredible.
But we going back to Marky Mark being all
You gonna break up with
apologetic.
me?
Yeah. So Pam breaks up with him, and he even apologizes to her mom. I guess this is goodbye, Mrs. Schulman. Sorry about the meal and all. And it's just so stupid. Meanwhile, he's in a shootout in his own kitchen, and this movie is trashtastically beautiful.
Yeah, it's like a really, really buff Rick.
I love the guy who runs in and
The guy
he
in
slides
place
on
and-
the glass and
Yeah.
he's just trying to keep a straight face. But yeah, so Melvin peels out, and what is he driving?
Looks like a Firebird.
I think it's a Firebird.
No,
no.
Kit car. What was it?
I think it's a Firebird.
Knight Rider. What was Knight Rider? Isn't that the same model
Trans
car?
Am.
Trans Am, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and they're all in their Chrysler minivans.
and they're having a shootout in, middle class suburbia. Now Melvin's on the run, and he doesn't realize.
And here we go. The bad guys in the Jag.
And meanwhile, Joe, Laura, and Chantel
just
are
villains.
driving in circles around because they're trying to go to L.A., but he doesn't have a map or something and keeps getting them lost. and everybody's story finally
Converges.
collides.
Yeah.
Collides, at the
Yes.
end. And you got the hitman hanging out of the side of the car, and Melvin has completely forgotten at this point that Kiko's in the back of his car.
I was just thinking about that. Like your whole objective is saving this girl's life. Maybe don't just aerate
It isn't
the
at
car.
this point. He's running away from Cisco. He doesn't know she's in the car.
Wait, no, but Cisco's
climb-
goons.
No, they don't know she's in the car either. They don't know where she is.
They should probably make that assumption. If they know that he's the person who's holding her, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Oh no, the Jag.
I don't think a lot of stuff
Now,
got thought through.
did you see he just rammed into that Jag, right?
Yeah.
Later when it's in the tree, does it have the smashed up front?
I don't think so.
Just note that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And also, the money flies out.
So Chantel has taken a briefcase of Melvin's money. It was like 25 grand. And also, what other item popped out of the suit or the briefcase? The VHS tape.
Yeah, King
Lives
Kong.
that Joe
Yeah.
Laura stole.
Yes.
And it's so funny because Melvin, he just ties up all these different storylines where he faces off with Chantel and he's like, "You stole my copy of King Kong Lives. You should be ashamed of yourself." And just walks away from her. It's so great.
Yeah,
But-
and they
You're right about
yeah.
Kiko because she's just been in a car chase where the car is now Swiss cheese and she so should be dead by now. But they pull over and she's like, "That was intense," and it's just she is an adrenaline junkie all day
She is,
long.
absolutely.
Yeah, she's like, cutting herself in the trunk. Oh, this so good. Mark Wahlberg, run.
Well, and even later, because they wind up, of all places, they wind up at Big Top freaking Video so he can return that damn tape. And
Yeah.
he faces off with the geeky little kid who runs it. And he's like, "This is the rudest store I have ever interacted with. I will never rent videotapes here." And what was the...
Alrighty then.
what was the... what was the pertinent... poster that was in the video store,
Oh,
Mr.
well, it was a
Brown?
bunch of trauma.
No, there was also the
Adult section.
the one person that rented the most
yeah.
videos. He
Yeah.
had his own,
Customer of the
poster
month.
of him.
customer of the month.
I know,
Doing
and Lou
himself.
Diamond Phillips actually stops and looks at it.
Yeah.
It just gives it a disgusted look.
Because again, it's not a video store. It's a set piece cage fight place that has shelves of videos in it.
And meanwhile, and ironically enough, the one person who appreciated Kiko's dad's horrible film, Taste the Golden Spray, was the manager of the store. Because when I don't think we mentioned this part, he had a completely golden,
Yes.
Yeah,
what's it called?
gold-plated
Gold-plated,
Statuette or something.
stand-ups.
yeah. And
Yeah.
they put it at the top, in the ceiling to decorate the video store. And meanwhile, they end up jumping on it and swinging back and forth like monkeys. It's just
Well,
the most ridiculous thing.
that's kung fu action crime shooting bang bang movie
And
stuff.
Joe Lara and
This-
Chantel lose their ride to Cisco.
and they may be killed.
Yeah, because Paris
They
does pull a gun on
may
him.
be because we don't see anything past that shot of Chantel looking back at him with the gun, and
Yeah, because he's asking.
so you don't know.
He's
I mean,
asking what direction
yeah.
Melvin's going in. And yeah, you know.
we are going to take a quick break,
All right.
and when we come back, we will conclude this action-packed episode of Hindsight is Horrifying. And we are back. Sorry, my eyes rolled. I was trying to remember where the camera is.
Yeah, it's right there.
It's
It's a
always
very,
on
very,
you,
it's a
Jason.
very small lens. That's what she said. And we are back to watching The Big Hit,
Yes, we are.
So, Darth,
which is blessedly close to the end.
You had mentioned that China Chow and Mark Wahlberg dated after this film. Do you have any more details about that? How long did that relationship last?
Jason mentioned it.
4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Wow.
Yep.
4 years.
I could
of
see. Look
rocking
at that.
the funky bush.
Oh, it's, yeah, I
And
know.
look at the kisses. I thought the kisses were well over the top with the tongue and the,
Oh, yeah.
the heavy lip and the driving it deep.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys just continue the show.
I know. I just need to watch this.
But
Now
this
we
is
know.
where we.
Now
in
we know.
One continuity error that I noted
Oh,
is that
yeah,
Cisco's
you're
teeth-
right. The back of the car completely crumpled,
Yes.
and then it immediately uncrumpled.
Yeah, so it has to
Yeah.
have been a kit.
And now look
car
at the
that they rebuilt.
front of the car. The front of the car is perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Even though it just went off a cliff
Yeah.
onto a tree
Onto a
that's
tree.
somehow supporting its weight.
Wow.
Dr. Grant, Dr. Sattler.
God.
And they, I like
Serpentine, Babu.
Jags are great, but they're not really known for off road.
No.
Yeah, but this
know.
was in a park in Ontario, Canada. And
sure.
Was that an XJ6 though?
Yeah.
Those are good good off-road cars.
Yeah.
Not
Those
the one that you
were
have.
beefier. Yeah,
Yeah.
those were a lot beefier.
I'm sure she had some self-consciousness going on because she had to like do all these crazy stunts in the shortest skirt that you can possibly get away with.
No, I've seen shorter.
I said that you could possibly get away with and still be decent. But, you know, what do I know?
My mother was a saint.
But, oh God. Melvin pulls the same mistake as Dr. Grant in Jurassic Park because Cisco's chasing him downhill
in a Jaguar
in the
woods,
and he just runs straight away from it.
Yeah,
he finally does sort of curve off to the side to shoot at him, but it takes him way too long to realize that that's what he should be doing.
It's the Prometheus thing with Charlize Theron where she's running away from the ship that's going to crash, and if she just turned left, she'd have been fine.
Yes.
You know?
Serpentine.
It's sort of like if you're being chased by a shark, your best bet is get out of the water.
Probably best,
you know?
yes.
By the time you're being chased by a shark, though, getting out of the water is usually not an option. Because they're kind of quick, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Faster than a jet ski.
Deep blue tea.
Deep blue tea.
Water tea.
I pity the fool. That's a movie I would watch.
I care now. You made me care more.
Oh, okay. So I was going with a Mr. T.
That's
said
what I heard.
water
You were
tea.
okay, yeah.
Yes.
But anyway.
The prequel would
No,
be.
I got what you were going for.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
cool. We never fall down strange rabbit holes.
Oh no, he dropped the videotape.
Drop the videotape. Now, there's a lot of incredible stunts, I thought, here. Being
Well, that's the Hong Kong part.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, they're stunt movies. I mean, this is a John Woo scene
And to
right
that-
here.
With the
The only
videotape.
thing that it's missing is the white doves flying in front of the camera.
And to that end, during the foot car chase in the woods towards the end, Melvin drops his video cassette and Cisco stops the car and they have a Mexican standoff. It's a trademark of the legendary action movie director, John Woo.
What makes it a Mexican standoff?
It's a Mexican stalemate out there.
No, but I'm
don't
serious. Like, what makes it like not just
A standoff?
like an Irish standoff? What's the quality that changes it into
I
a
think
I think
Mexican?
it might have been the spaghetti westerns or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh no,
King
the bandit's
Kong
car.
Yeah, it falls at just the right time. And guess what the cars do, gentlemen?
They
explode.
Crash into each other and explode, and you think Cisco's dead.
You think so?
Spoiler alert.
He knows how to serpentine because he jumped out of the
Yes,
car
exactly.
and into the very conveniently placed reservoir where the cars were busy exploding. Luckily, he dove under the water just in time.
Just when you think, finally we can rest for a moment and get some loving out of the way.
Finally, we can have sex.
Yes, get some loving going.
Yeah, the most expensive stand-up in the history
Oh
of
my
motion
God,
picture
look at that.
marketing. And we didn't say what Taste the Golden Spray was about. It's an action
I don't even remember what it was about.
The dad, so what was his name again? Jiro Nishi. He made an action movie about himself
Yes,
and directed it himself.
of course, as
And
you
then-
do.
Starred in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he directed.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
he
he
starred.
started
Yeah,
it. So,
And produced it.
Yeah, and just it was a complete box office flop. But as opposed to this movie, which
the most
surprisingly-
expensive movie ever made,
Yes.
according to his
It's a water world of its time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was this before
Fictional.
Waterworld or after?
It was after.
it was
This is after
98,
Waterworld.
so it would have been after.
Waterworld was
But yeah,
early 90s.
Big Hit did pretty well. The budget was 13 million, and the box office was 27.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a win.
Considering the fact that I looked that up is because you were asking me if this movie ever actually went to theaters or if it was just a straight
Oh, I'm sure it did.
VHS release. No, that's what I'm saying because
Yeah.
it has the box office. But yeah, oh, there we go, Cisco. It's like the flames are chasing him from that explosion. It was
Yeah.
very specific.
I want spinny knives. Spinny knives look fun. I just
Yeah.
do that. I do that all the time.
He's just got like
I'd be like waiting in line at Subway, just spinning my
The
knives,
sharp
spinning my
knives and
Yeah.
going to take you down.
What's cooler, spinny knives or throwing stars?
I do
Spinny
like
knives.
I like throwing
I'm a big
stars.
fan of throwing stars.
Shuriken, we
Yeah,
call
but-
them.
Yeah,
where I
shuriken.
come from.
how
Yeah.
much can you really accomplish with throwing?
Not a
stars,
lot,
though?
but they're fun.
Yeah, but I mean,
Ninja Star
if you-
credit card.
If you got a lot of them, or throwing knives, those are fun.
Well, you
little-
can actually
little
throw
tiny-
knives to some effect.
No, but I mean like the ones that are like designed for throwing.
oh, like
Like the balanced ones.
yeah,
that,
okay.
Right.
I know what you're talking about.
I bought some from a gun show when I was a kid. Mysteriously, they went missing, like the next day. because my parents found them and threw them in the garbage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing good.
Good for you, Mom and Dad. Good for you.
Knives.
Yeah.
See, that's the change in perspective once again, like how you cheer for Ferris when you're young, then you cheer for Cameron, and then you cheer for Rooney.
Yeah.
Because you see it, because we were having...
And then when you read the news, you don't cheer for Rooney anymore.
That's very true. Or cast him in a movie, unless you're Tim Burton. But yeah, we were having this conversation.
Look at all the movie posters are trauma movies, like
yeah, that was actually one of my facts.
okay, all right. Well, then I'll let you have that one.
Oh, I've got to find it though. So, but that was pretty much it.
There he is, #1 customer of the month.
Adult
selection.
Section.
What was his name?
Crunch.
Crunch. With a big smile.
That's like almost that joke though is so out of place. It's like a Leslie Nielsen gag.
Almost.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's
yeah.
the bad guys looking up at a funny picture is like from The Naked Gun.
Yep.
And that's, I think, the critique of the movie is that it never settles on a tone. Mm-hmm. It never really knows what it wants to be.
No.
Right. Because, like, it's
so all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can do a Naked Gun movie, but you don't have the same kind of romance stuff that they have in this. You can do the romance stuff, but then do you also have the goofball stuff?
Farcical.
Yeah, it's almost like
side.
you expect fart jokes and Brendan Fraser to be in it, you know?
Hey.
No,
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
No, I wasn't right away. I love Brendan Fraser.
He's actually got a new movie coming out.
I heard that. He's back.
The internet is losing their damn minds
It's a
over
buzz.
it too.
Yeah, because as it turns out, we all loved him.
Yes.
He should never have gone
He's
away.
magnificent.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot to verify that when we were talking about the Mummy Returns.
What, that he's magnificent? I can verify.
No. We definitely covered that portion of it. But the reason why I think he got blackballed for accusing someone of bad behavior in Hollywood. And it's Brendan Fraser. If I'm going to believe any man about being sexually assaulted, it's probably Brendan Fraser. Like, he wouldn't make that up.
Brendan Fraser, because he is one of those few guys in Hollywood that if it's like, oh, my kid needs to be babysat for the night. Okay, Brendan Fraser's going to do it. You know what?
And his girlfriend doesn't even need to come with him. Like,
yeah,
I trust him
I feel like
with
that's
my
okay.
Kid.
You know.
Yeah, I could totally see that. But Cisco does have
or
a nice...
Christopher Walken. Hello, kid. We're gonna have a fun evening.
I want some applesauce. You're talking to me all wrong. It's the wrong tone.
Nice. That was very good. That was very, very good.
Thank you. But yeah, Cisco actually gets his comeuppance.
And he's holding an explosive that's got 14 seconds left.
The same explosive from earlier in the movie.
That's what I thought.
The cold fusion explosive. But he tries to get the last laugh because he pretends to sympathize with Melvin. He's like, I just wanted to sail my boat, you know.
And then,
I want to
he
empathize.
takes the explosive off of Marky Mark and sets it for detonation.
Okay, so I have a question here too.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, Marky Mark didn't think that he was going to survive the explosion.
no, he's trying to save her life.
So yeah, I mean, but
He loves her.
But was she in danger?
Well, yeah, because that
What?
thing was about to explode.
No, he runs back in.
No, because
Yeah.
he's taking his chances with the explosion as opposed to his boss who just pulled up shooting him in the face.
Oh, okay. I guess maybe that too.
Harris shows up and that's a certain death that he knows he can't. He's just choosing the lesser of the poisons.
Melvin need to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, he does. Because seriously, that building exploded
Yeah.
with a 70s
There was a lot
car.
of gas in that explosion.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
This
Well,
poignant
it was
Forrest Gump
a
moment, like the feather.
Yeah, it was a video store / creosote storage facility.
But I
They had a lot of fertilizer in there.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a side gig.
Yeah.
Fertilizer
You
sales.
see, they knew what was coming with
Yeah.
Netflix and everything, so they were
God.
trying to branch out.
Jason, if they ever remake this movie, they have to put this one little bit in just for you and me, where Melvin has his Polaroid hung up on the wall in the store because he has kept the videotape for too long, so he's like a video store criminal. But if they ever remake this, they need to put the picture. They need to get John Roberts with like a handful of bread samples. Or like a handful of videos and it says, do not rent.
What did that baby do? He's just a jerk.
He's just a joke. But
So Darth at the end, it's a happy ending across.
Yeah.
Just like many. Asian
And don't forget, they did say this movie did have "Me Love You Long Time" as a line in this movie.
Yeah, that's why I was saying the boyfriend in the beginning was a complete racist pig. But here's something to pay attention to, gentlemen. Did you notice that Kiko never knows Melvin's actual name? You assume he tells her later, but right now, so this is the end, and she thinks that she's been pining for Marky Mark.
Skipper.
Yeah, because when they kidnap her initially, you've got the millionaire Gilligan,
they were doing the Gilligan
Marky
Island
Mark is
aliases.
Skipper, so that they've got their aliases, and so she gets picked up from school. You assume like a year later, and Vince, the driver, says something to her that makes her think of Marky Mark. And she's like, Skipper? All excited thinking that he's come back for her. But then it's Vince and she gets disappointed. But then Marky Mark shows up with a flower out on the side of the car.
Marky Mark's like, you're 18 now, right?
But
can we just, otherwise I'm taking you on a trip to Austria.
Full circle, because the golden stand-up is what saves Marky Mark's life in the video store explosion.
Yeah.
Well designed, golden stand-up.
There they go, making out with each other.
Oh my God, these kisses are so passionate.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's real.
I bet the director yelled cut and they just didn't stop.
No, that happens a lot on set.
And Darth, did you notice the name of the boat?
I was trying to look to see if it was relevant, and I'm sure it is.
It is relevant. It's got
Caño Grande?
No.
Grande Pinocha. Oh my God.
For those of us, for those in our audience,
I wrote the correct version of that.
For those in the audience who don't speak Spanish,
do you want
what does that translate to?
You do it.
It refers to a large women's genitalia. I'm not going to say the actual words on camera. It's rather
it's a commonly used word referring to felines.
Yes. And it indicates that your feline is particularly large. But in the beginning, it's an insult that Sisko uses against Melvin.
Yeah.
He calls him a large feline. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh crap! Hang on, it's going to play Half Baked. Here we go.
Oh no.
Which Half Baked
is Half Baked available?
I think it was.
Looks like it's on Prime. You might.
Amazon Prime, by the way, did something really cool. They added a switch that you can flip on the Prime Video page.
Yes.
To filter out the stuff you have to pay for.
Oh,
nice.
So you can just see the stuff that's free to you.
Yeah, because
Hindsight listeners note that.
That's a big deal. Every movie we do from now on is going to be something that's free.
It's like Will Wheaton, but you have to.
Will Wheaton.
How many times have you seen a movie you wanted to see and then you clicked on it and you're like, oh,
right. That happened to me the other day. I thought Parks and Recreation had come to Amazon Prime because I'm not getting another streaming service, Peacock. I'm just not doing it.
Poor Peacock. No one like it.
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I can't have that many streaming services. I already have to have 3 just to cover my bases.
Well, what's stupid is that they didn't do the thing that like HBO and Showtime and all of those guys do, where you just go to your Amazon account, you pay like $2 extra or $5 extra.
Yeah, I've got HBO.
And it just adds it to. I'm not paying you $15 or whatever it is, Peacock. It's NBC. No. You had Seinfeld and Night Court.
Yeah, and they took Seinfeld off of Hulu, and I'm so sad.
It's supposedly coming to Netflix eventually.
It'll be back. Don't worry. It never goes far.
Yeah.
But, all right, so out to Seinfeld.
It's hard. It's the first time I saw it.
Mine too.
So
Cinco.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, it's a 5.
Then for me, I'm gonna go with a 6.5.
Deal breaker, right
because,
there.
Now I got to do math. 16.5 divided by 3.
His brain hurts. Anyway, I'm gonna go with a 6.5.
5.5, maybe.
Albany.
5.5.
42. Yeah. I'm gonna go with 6.5 because, like I said, when I was younger and I first saw this movie, I was just sort of mooning over Marky Mark, and I just took it too seriously as an action movie and didn't realize how hilarious it was and how just campy and ridiculous it was either until I was a bit older and I watched it, and because I think I bought it on on DVD at Target about 12 years ago.
Well, this is one of those movies that you find in the bin, you know,
in the bin,
right next to Firebirds, and yeah.
Well, and I had to appreciate it because this is Marky Mark is one of the first time, like a story related to him is one of the first times I felt old, and I think it was with young Adam, to whom I had to explain that Marky Mark and Mark Wahlberg are the same person.
Whoa. Mind blown.
Yeah. And I was just like, are you kidding me? I feel so old right now. This is ridiculous.
It's like giving a history lesson.
Yeah.
To the children.
Oh
yeah. There used to be this fella named Mark Wahlberg.
He was a real looker with that Boston accent of his.
I remember he used to take pictures in his underwear.
And rap about soda pop.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this has been a train wreck of an episode.
Yeah. This one may never make the air of Hindsighters, but we'll see.
No, this was great.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It'll be good.
We had fun. We laughed.
Of course, we cried.
I think a record
we kissed our $3.99 goodbye.
We did.
See, I just did the 7-day Showtime free trial on Amazon, and then I'm just going to cancel it. Yeah.
Oh, smart.
I'm not paying them a nickel.
That's a waste of a
I'm
trial.
not making them. Well, what else does Showtime have?
That's an excellent point. Oh, four brothers. They're just brothers.
They're just brothers.
In a van.
All right, Darth, take us home.
All right, Hindsighters, thank you once again for joining us for our farcical nonsense on Hindsight is Horrifying. This has been Darth, Jason, and Adam appreciating you joining us for your drive time, your listening time. You're essentially cooking a chicken time. This has been Hindsight, and good night.